building a more resilient and environmentally conscious future. I am delighted. He has over 3 decades of post-qualification experience in research, business, and consulting in technology, energy, and climate change. Currently, he is working as chairman of the Center of Social Studies. He is also a president of SRK Knowledge Foundation. He is the chairman of the Tribal Vocational Training Center established at Valsad. He is on a global steering committee of Resilient set up by Rockefeller Foundation, USA. He was a president of Sarvajanik University, set up by Sarvajanik Education Society, catering the academic needs of 32,000 students by running 30 educational institutes. He is a director at MIS. He is also a Chief Resilience Officer appointed by Surat Municipal Corporation. He is a founder trustee of Surat Climate Change Trust. He was the president of the Southern Gujarat Chamber of Commerce and Industry. He is an IIT Mumbai trained engineer, having studied technology, energy and climate change. His areas of interest include education, technology, resilience and climate change. On this momentous occasion, I request Dr. Gaurav Saha sir to welcome Shri sir, the vibrant worldly art, which is prepared by the startup of our alumni BBA batch 2013. It is my pleasure to introduce our first panelist, Dr. D.K. Joshi sir, Chairman Managing Director of the Beacon Group. He has held significant roles including ex-president of the Association of Diagnostics Manufacturers of India. Dr. Joshi's global contributions span prestigious institutions like Harvard Medical School and CDC Department of Health and Human Entrepreneurship in 1997 and 2000, presented by the Vice President and Prime Minister respectively. His impactful research on amoebiasis diagnosis, currently an advisory member to the National Medical Device Promotion Council, Government of India. To welcome the respected Dr. D.K. Joshi sir, I would request our very own Dr. Rekha Gadvi ma'am, please come forward and do the honors. Now, I am honored to introduce our next panelist, Dr. Anand Bhadalkar sir, who is Director of Biotechnology and Business. He has been pivotal in Gujarat's biotechnology sector, contributing to policy formulation and fostering entrepreneurship. Co-founding STBI in 2017, he led its support to 100 plus bio startups, resulting in 65 plus patents, 140 plus product launches, and a cumulative valuation of rupees 450 plus crores. Dr. Bhadalkar grant funds from government agencies and actively participates in national networks serving on university boards and startup incubator boards. He is joining us through a virtual platform, so we welcome him warmly on this virtual platform. I am honored to introduce our next panelist and alumni of our university, Dr. Bergi sir. He has served as assistant professor and head of biotechnology department at Shri Ramakrishna Institute, Sarvajanik University, Surat. Additionally, he took on the role of registrar at Sarvajanik University, contributing significantly during his formative years. His diverse qualifications and extensive experience reflect a comprehensive understanding of the academic landscape. Now, I would request Dr. Mayuri Rathod ma'am to come forward and welcome our respected panelist, Dr. Jai Bergi sir. I am delighted to introduce our esteemed panelist, Mr. Alok Vaidya sir. He is currently the director at SLS Research Private Limited, which specialized in molecular diagnostic kits. Previously, he was founder member of Saffron Life-sciences, focusing on molecular biology research and teaching kits. A former junior research fellow, his biotechnological work involved enhancing bacteria for bioremediation. A seasoned professional, he also served as Officer R&D at Spen Diagnostics Limited and holds a certification in genomics and proteomics. To welcome the respected Mr. Alok Vaidya sir, I would request our very own Dr. Anjali ma'am to please come forward and do the honors. Now I request Dr. Gaurav sir to initiate our panel discussion.
Thank you very much. On behalf of organizing committee, Department of Biotechnology and Veer South Gujarat University, I also heartily welcome all the panelists, chaired by Yagnik sir, and I also welcome Anand Bhadalkar sir, who has joined online because of his other commitments came at the last moment, but he was committed that he will join through virtual mode, and I thank my technical team of the university and the department that they have made it possible. Sir, I can see you here. I don't know whether you can see me or not, but thank you very much for being with us. सरकार का होना बहुत जरूरी है, आगे कुछ भी करना है बच्चों के लिए. सरकार नहीं होगी तो हम क्या करेंगे, इंडस्ट्री भी कुछ नहीं कर पाएगी और एकेडमिक्स भी कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. Thank you so much sir for being with us. So the participants, the topic of today's panel discussion is related to education and capacity building for sustainable biological practices. As I told in the morning, sustainable goals, which United Nations 17 sustainable goals are very much important. There are a lot of expectations from biological scientists, and as you all are aware, biotechnology is application of all those things which you are going to do. So after undergraduation, post-graduation, what are the expectations from the industries? How a particular thought and idea can be converted into some innovative product which can be then commercialized. That is the most important aspect, right? So, but the technology should be in a sustainable way. Commercialization, because emission limits and many other things are there now, and we all are working, all countries are working. We are well aware regarding various types of agreements which are happening. And as I told, that there are a lot of expectations from the biological scientists. So you being the future, scientists are not for specifically for country, but they are for the world as a whole. Our ecosystem, how you can contribute, and that too in a very sustainable way. In that course, whatever your queries, whatever the questions, whatever the something which is there in your mind, we will initiate the discussion and you can ask questions, right? And we'll try to resolve. We have experts from industry, we have experts from academia, and we have experts from the government agency itself. And if a bridge which has been, as the theme of the conference says, a sustainable approach, how we can move ahead with that, from where we will get the funds, we have an idea what can be done and what is the need of the industry, because many times scientists are frustrated that we have developed certain things but it cannot be commercialized, industry is not going to use it. So invention may take time, innovation can be done, you have that potential, and GSBTM, Savli Technology and Business Incubator and many other incubators throughout the India are there to take your ideas and convert it into a commercial viable product which industry can accept it. So with that note, the major ideology regarding this particular topic is addressing the role of education and capacity building in preparing the next generation, that is you all, for sustainable practices in the field of plant, animal, microbial, and most important, environmental science, right, which connects everything. In morning we saw that biochemistry was very important part, that how DRDO scientists are working related to the overall well-being of our soldiers. If they are provided with the nutrients which they need under extreme conditions, then their biochemistry is also very much important. BMI is also very much important. This is just one area. We need to solve the global problems. Our identity, our expectations are to solve the global problems. So scientists can think and how it can be commercialized so that it can reach to masses. I humbly hand over this particular session to our chairperson, Dr. Kamlesh Yagnik, to initiate, and let's think and let's discuss. Let's come out with some certain things which will be very much fruitful for your career, for nation building, for the scientific community in a sustainable way. Thank you.
And good evening to everyone. Time is 4:35. Exactly at 5:35, we will close the discussion. First and foremost is compliments to Dr. Gaurav Sir and his entire team for putting up a great show. And I'm sure, as he rightly mentioned, that this is just the beginning, and more such conference will follow. Every year, in the month of January, somewhere in Switzerland, there is a place known as Davos, where the world's best scientists, best industrialists, best politicians, all those who matter a lot, they meet and they discuss. And every year, they come out with various issues which human beings are going to face in next 2 years and next 10 years. So this year, they have come out with two news. There are, two news which has come out from Davos International. One is a good news and one is a bad news. So I want to share good news and bad news with you. So what do I share first? Good news or bad news? Good news. Good news. Bad news. Okay, let's begin with the bad news. The bad news is, they are saying, and this conference, this World Economic Forum, which is held in Davos, they are meeting for last 51 years. So relentlessly, uninterruptedly, they are meeting. So this year, they have come out with a news which says that whatever the jobs which are prevailing in developed nations, 60% of these jobs will become redundant in next 5 years period. That is, one news. In a country like India, they have declared that 40% of the jobs in developing nations, they will be redundant. Now this is a very, very scary news. And this applies to all cross-section of employment which is available. But they have come out with the good news. And in good news, which I can share it with joy and pleasure in this conference, that they have said that the jobs of scientists essentially working in biotechnology field, they are going to be very, very safe. On the contrary, they will have to put in extra efforts in ensuring they widen the scope of research, they widen the scope of work. So with this note, we will start. And what we are saying, as rightly mentioned by Dr. Gaurav Sir, that today's theme is essential. We are talking about education and capacity building for sustainable biological practices. We are really fortunate, we have young entrepreneurs, we have a veteran like Dr. Joshi. Today, whenever anyone talks about biotechnologies, the only name surfaces in our mind is Dr. Joshi. We are really thankful for him being here. And Dr. Jain Bergi, who is again in South Gujarat, in Surat. He's a name and he's spearheading a movement, inviting students to join in. And he's also instrumental, just like Dr. Gaurav Sir, in popularizing biotechnology in this way. So what we would do is, firstly, we break this title into three. One is role of education. Secondly, what is capacity building, and essentially how do we ensure the sustainability. We have Dr. Anand, who is with GSBTM, and they are the one, on their shoulder lies the responsibility of ensuring that whatever comes out of laboratory, whatever comes out from an institution like us, it is their role, because they are facilitators. They facilitate not only infrastructure, finance, infrastructure, everything, they actually facilitate. So we have a great mix of panelists, and without wasting further time, we will start. And I'm sure we'll start with Alok and ask him, what is essentially a role of education in biotechnology? He sees it, how he perceives it. And what we'll do is, before I give a mic to him, we will have question answers sections at the end. See, this is, this discussion is to initiate the discussions, and we will want students subsequently to question, because these people have traveled distances, they are going to spend time with you. So whatever may be, in your mind, because during the course of discussions, we will not be able to complete what you want to listen, or what are your problems, what kind of challenges you face. So I encourage and request all of you to come up with questions, and really, you may find it very trivial questions, but ask prashna pucho. That's very, very important. So Alok, you can start with about the future of education, how do you perceive it in environment?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Gaurav sir and Biotech department for inviting me among such illustrious panelists. Okay, I'll straight away get to the point. The role of education in biotechnology and its future. Right. So, when I started the industry, my main goal was to bridge the gap between industry and academia. Right. That was my main motto, or the point at which I started the industry first. Right. So basically, the gap I was filling at that particular time, I started way back in 2014. Right. So at that time, startup culture was not that prevalent in India. Right. Education in colleges, what we learn, right, and the way we operate in industry, these are two completely different things. Right. Our degrees and marks and what we get in the college, that is for the campus itself. Right. Once you step out of the campus, nobody will look at your degree or the marks that you have got in particular subjects. So it all comes down to your skills, the way you tackle problems, and your approach for the solution. Right. So the education system also has changed since past decade. Right. So I see more and more symposiums and seminars being held in different colleges and universities. Right. So this is basically to encourage you guys to break the barrier of the thought process. You have to develop the thought process that how you can be of help to industry. Right? So that kind of thought process is developed in the college, then it would be easier for you guys to shift from campus to corporate or industry. Right? Other than that, more than theoretical part, I think our field is such that we need hands-on training a lot. Right? We have to build our hands, the skills that we require to carry out certain experiments, the planning for the experiments. So the focus has shifted from theory to the laboratory work, and hopefully in the near future more and more experiments will be incorporated into the syllabus of the universities. So it will be easy for you guys to shift to the industry. Maybe you can ask some questions, then only I'll be able to. Okay, fine. Yes, sir, I think you guys are fine.
No, let's hear from, we heard it from Alok, the veteran, who is sitting just besides me. I'll request Dr. Joshi to elaborate on this and its role in capacity.
So when we are talking about the biotechnology, what is the expectations of biotechnology from the new generation to this country? Can you just brief me why you select the biotechnology and not microbiology and not chemistry? Anyone can be explaining the basic fundamental from science to a biotechnology. Anyone can say, because I would like to speak on that subject. Then what is the difference between the microbiology, BSc microbiology and BSc biotechnology? Why you are not going in microbiology and why you are going into the biotechnology? Or anyone can tell me what is biotechnology and what is the science? Like what is microbiology and what is the chemistry and what is the biotechnology? Anyone can? Please. Yeah, please.
So I think basic sciences like microbiology and biochemistry are limited to understanding the science, while biotechnology aims at understanding and then manipulating it according to our own preferences. That manipulating part excites me.
Absolutely correct. See the fundamental, that what industry is looking for and what this country is looking for. See the microbiology and chemistry are the basic science which is naturally there, and the biotechnology is something above them where the science is to be modified which is not occurred naturally, right? For example, I will give you one example what industry is looking for. You know the blood grouping reagent? Everybody knows that used for the find out the blood grouping. When the biotechnology was not there, the blood grouping reagent was manufactured from human blood. Now the means are such high, it is not possible to take that human blood and manufacture that product. Now the biotechnology has taken the place where with a tissue culture and modified hybrid technology, which is not naturally occur, where you take the cancer cell and spleen cell, make the combination of that both the gene together in one cell, grow to a tissue culture and produce the monoclonal antibody which is suitable to blood grouping. This is the biotechnology. So what the industries are looking from you is, can you generate some innovative idea in the science from the natural science to modify in the beneficiary of humanity? This is called biotechnology. So look from that angle what industries are looking for. Thank you.
Let's hear from Dr. Bergi, who has been in academics for so many number of years. What are his ideas and thoughts about education in biotechnology?
Thank you all. The session, this panel discussion is on education, capacity building and sustainable development. And as the chair of session has suggested, we will discuss education and capacity building first and then the sustainable development. So I am presenting my views regarding education and capacity building. If you ask me, then education as a whole, and I will be specific, more focused on the biological education since that's my area of expertise. So education, when it comes to capacity building, has got three major roles. One, enhancing the knowledge in the core specialization. Second, enhancing the skills of the individual in the core specialization. And third is troubleshooting through the innovations. Now, I will give one example for each so as the picture becomes clear. Education, when we say enhancing the education in the subject core specialization, then we are already good at that. If you ask any person in higher education in USA, they really appreciate that whenever an incumbent from from the India comes to the US universities is very strong when it comes to theory knowledge. So knowledge in theory in all subject areas like biotechnology is already good. But then how education can enhance it? So the education knowledge shouldn't be only focused on the theory. Students should have awareness regarding the laboratory and practical side of it. A. B. There should be rapid, continuous updation in the knowledge as the things are changing. We now all agree that biotechnology is not same as it used to be in 80s, 90s, or say in the earlier millennia. So there has to be an updation. Now here the role lies of curriculum. See, there was a suggestion and experimentation 5 years back, not in biotechnology, but in microbiology, whose board of studies member I was on those times. So we had an experiment that there was an entire paper which only discussed the top 10 research articles of last 5 years, in PG of course. So are students aware of top 10 discoveries, work, research, globally done in the recent 2 years, 3 years? So that exposure, updation of the knowledge, not learning the traditional things, is what I call enhancing the knowledge. The second one is enhancing the skills. So this is one of favorite data of mine, that the top 10 selling biological molecules around the world in terms of their nature, the top 10 pharmaceutical products if you see of 2022, then out of 10 molecules, 5 are monoclonal antibodies. I am happy that before I can mention that Dr. Joshi brought in the issue that earlier the blood grouping molecule was polyclonal and now it is monoclonal. So top 5 molecules in pharmaceutical industry are all monoclonal antibodies. And how you can manufacture it? You can only manufacture it through animal cell culture. So are students today having enough skills to do that in the industry skill as well as laboratory skill? So skill enhancement for the things which are about to come, for the challenges of coming 10 years and not those of past 10 years. That is what I call skill enhancement. Skills needed to the industry to serve the industry for the coming 10 years. The third one is troubleshooting using the innovation. So all students, PG students in specific, are doing their dissertation work. We are having research students doing their PhD work in education. Are we connected? Are we connecting our research topics, dissertation topics to the problems of industry? See, Government of India, and I am sure Dr. Bhadalkar, who is online with us, will agree that Government of India, Department of Biotechnology have published the thrust areas of research. So government has got its priorities sorted in what specific areas they want research to be done, what are the troubles they want to solve. So those thrust areas are defined. Even there are priority pathogens defined. Pathogens, you know, the disease causing organisms. So government has also published what are the pathogens we prioritize. So the troubleshooting should be in the area where need already is there. And for that, students are to be made aware. That is the job of education. We must make students and research scholars aware what are the priority areas, thrust areas, what areas in which industry is facing some problem. So there are 3 ways education can connect with the capacity buildings, updated knowledge, futuristic skills, and troubleshooting. Thank you.
Very nicely put, Dr. Bergi. Now, as we all know, that Gujarat is a pharma capital of the world, and the strength of this sector is we. We are the one who are strengthening this sector. And the individual currently who is instrumental in ensuring that Gujarat grows, we have Dr. Anand with us. So Dr. Anand, we would want to hear from you what are basically, why education and what is expected out of education and how do we ensure that we have a capacity building for the students. Dr. Anand, we have some disturbance in voice. You may have to bear with us. Just a minute also.
I think one of the systems we completed. Yes, I think. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you well. This is better. Maybe we need a little louder.
Nevertheless, I cannot hear you. But if you can hear me, I'll just go ahead.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So, Dr. Bergi, again, a long time friend, and Dr. Alok Vaidya, my respects to you. Thank you so much, Dr. Gaurav sir, for inviting me. In fact, I look forward to coming to the department and interacting with students. I'm fortunate that I could not come. I also saw Dr. Rekha, Dr. Anjali, and some old friends there. So, my respects to all of you. A very pertinent question for students, and that is what should be used into education, or how exactly, what reforms are needed into education policy. अभी जो है डाइट आपको करेंगे वो एनर्जी हमने करी शकते हैं, पर हमें स्टूडेंट्स का पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू की हुई है तो a lot of students out there to see it. Those to the online study करना पड़ा, जबकि hands-on studies नहीं करना पड़ा, and this is the batch that will eventually go to industry in a short while, which will, when I say industry, I mean who will be in the market very shortly. So we are conscious about this. I said in a large number of committees, I said in various committees, universities as well, and I am aware of these aspects. Okay. So I will not open with a statement I am writing for students, and that is, and whatever bypass at this time that you need to pick up. Some of you would have missed on studies, some of you would have realized that you are not that, or your fundamentals in a particular subject are not up to mark. I think it is time that we do something about it, because challenge. And as a lot of them pointed out, we are so much, intersectoral or interdisciplinary. For example, Bergi sir talked about microbiology versus biochemistry versus biotechnology and so on and so forth. So, or even Joshi sir mentioned about it. But you would be surprised to know that now when industry is hiring, Joshi sir is here, he would, it is not about what degree that you have, it's about the skill sets that you have. You might have a master's degree with a first class distinction in microbiology, but if you are not able to maintain your cultures, then you are possibly not wanted in an industry. Similarly, you may have a master's degree in biochemistry and you are not able to make solutions properly. Okay, doesn't help you. So it is time that we need to be thorough with anything and everything that you are doing and make sure that you are there. Why is it even more important? As Jain sir mentioned, in fact, it is a time now. See, in contrast to, this is something I have been saying, and Gaurav sir is my guru bandhu, so he would agree. In contrast to how our supervisors used to do research, or the kind of funding that they would get from funding agencies like Bergi, like DST, like SRKI, or even DSIR through TDP and other programs, or TDP. Now you get to see the surges of this era do not get those kind of fundings. Okay, unless they target translational work, unless they look towards product development, unless they are looking
Very nice, thank you, Dr. Anand. You brought up, like very interesting thing on the floor. And as rightly mentioned, it's a time for collaborations. You cannot, work single-handedly as a biotechnologist. You really need help of anyone in your team. And as we all know, and which was just mentioned by Dr. Anand, that artificial intelligence which is coming. Now, what is artificial intelligence? You may probably have known, because many of you, I'm sure, or majority of us are using. And it is said that ChatGPT, it took only 2 months' time to reach a subscriber base of 10 crore. While Facebook and Instagram, they took almost 5 years to reach that base. So it means, artificial intelligence are here to stay with us. Now, how do we integrate, say, let's say, artificial intelligence and biotechnology? How do we integrate it? So that's something, we would really should discuss, Dr. Joshi, because you have seen a lot of things, the actual development in the field of biotechnology, and what future you see when artificial intelligence is already on our doorstep. So how do you see artificial intelligence, integration of artificial intelligence and biotechnology in a time to come?
Now, when we talk about the biotechnology to be clubbed with the artificial intelligence, see, in research what we require fundamentally is the informations. We should not do the repeated experiment which is already done by someone else. Otherwise, that research will go for years and years. How this AI can be, very much helpful to our biotechnologies. Whenever we design any experiment into the biotechnology, first of all, we should find out what are the such kind of experiment is carried out worldwide and what is the result. If we analyze that result first, and from those result, if we design further experiment, that will save our years together. So that is the fundamental, that is the fundamental advantage of artificial intelligence. If you see to any subject, what the artificial intelligence do, they analyze the data. They have a lot of data. When you ask any question worldwide, whatever the data have, they can analyze and give you information immediately. So any research project, when we design, that research previously was taking so long time, because the one thing which we are doing in the world, another 10,000 people are doing the same thing. Now the time has come that we take the advantage of the different experiment carried out worldwide, and we took the result without performing our own experiment, and from those results we can design our own experiment, so we can do the research or modifications or any new changes into a product to make them more beneficial, more commercialized, or much better quality. So we can use the artificial intelligence to make the things much faster, but final decision is always to be taken by mankind. That artificial intelligence can only analyze the data, they can provide you the data, but finally the data has to be concluded by the scientist only.
I think that is very rightly put up by Dr. Joshi. That ultimately, man is superior than the machine. It lies in our hand. How do we get, what do we expect out of AI? So let's hear even from Alok. What is his perception about the utilization of AI in biotech?
Thank you, sir. See, today we are always flooded with information, right? जब हम पढ़ते थे, जब college तो कोई भी project start करने से पहले there used to be one session for literature study, right? So with help of AI, what we can utilize it for is we can get specific information to minimize our time for information gathering, right? And we can get very specific information for our project, right? And even in asset development, right? So your optimization time will be minimalized with the help of AI, right? For protein docking and all, there used to be huge software, right? Server में बनाते पूरा data analysis करते थे, sequencing के लिए कितना सारा होता है. But because there are already available software which can minimize that and nullify the time and machinery is required for the data analysis. So the AI will be definitely very helpful for us to analyze our data, to extract specific information, to design our experiments, right, and to get specific results also. Right. So in that part, I think AI is going to be a huge role player, and we can utilize it to our advantage.
See, this left-hand side of mine, they talked about how AI is needed to be integrated in biotechnology and why it's important. Now, this two gentlemen, we'll ask Dr. Gaurav Shah also, that all of you, I'm not sure how much AI was taught in your degrees, but if AI is not taught to these young ones, what kind of challenges or what kind of limitations you foresee when they go to the field, Dr. Bergi?
So, I put my POV in two parts. First, what is done by the AI up till now in biotechnology. Second, what may happen earlier. So, there is a company, AI company called Premind, which was recently purchased by a company called Alphabet, whom we literally know as Google. So the parental company of Google, Alphabet, has purchased a company called Premind, which has an AI tool called AlphaFold, which is designed to predict the secondary structure of proteins. Now, every 2 years, there is a competition globally of all software tools which are in the domain of structure prediction. There is an international competition called TASC. TASC stands for Critical Assessment for the Technologies of Structure Prediction. So it's a competition between software tools for the prediction of structures of proteins. Now what happened in 2018? The AlphaFold was declared as the best technology in the structure prediction, 2018 competition. 2020, again it was declared better, but this time the margin of distance between the best tool AlphaFold, there is AI tool and other methods, was increased by 90%. So it was far better than anything else. And then in next version, they didn't participate at all. In the competition, and all the participants, they use that tool in order to develop their own tool of the structure prediction. What they've done, whenever software does a thing, there is a paradigm shift in terms of the size. In 2021 itself, they declared that every non-human protein, the structure will be posted by us on website free. Every non-human protein, the secondary structure by AI will be posted online. What they did in pandemic, before even the first research paper came out of COVID, they declared the structure of ORF3, of coronavirus protein, which was to be used for the antigen and further the vaccine preparation. So this is done by AI tool in the field of biotechnology. Now how we can move forward? So sir has asked, if AI is not the part of tool. Now the students of this era, they have been given a choice of studying at least 2 papers per semester of their own choice. What are labeled as skill enhancement papers or multidisciplinary papers. Those who are interested in advanced biotechnology, structural biotechnology, bioinformatics, must have a paper which is designed by the Faculty of Computer Science in the field of AI. There are 3 training programs by Google, available for the people in general, students in general, on the AI. So students must learn this thing, otherwise what will happen? Within 2 years, AI is going to predict the structure of every all biological proteins in the world. Okay, you will have nothing to do if you will not learn this tool. The size at which AI is predicting structural biology is huge. There will be nothing to do in the manual way. Only thing manual procedure can do is just verify and say yes, AI has done it nice. Okay, so you can do it by the NMS or the XRD, and you can just verify whether whatever they have predicted is correct or not. This tool is something which everyone has to learn, and don't just be fascinated by the non-technological applications of AI. I have seen youngsters, the AI has been used to answer the assignments or to overlay a person's face on another person. So don't just be fascinated by the non-technical applications of AI. You must understand what the free to use AI tools can do in area of bioinformatics, area of structure prediction, before everything is done by the machine itself.
Jai Bhai made a statement, and that's a very pertinent statement. He said that every biotechnologist must study AI. Now let's ask Gaurav Bhai, what if I have not studied? I am a biotechnologist, but I have not studied AI at all. So what will happen to me? So can you tell us in this situation?
Studying AI is very much important, but if you don't study at all, you will be left behind. That is the first point. Second thing, there are many threats that for AI, that AI will do this and that and this will be replaced. AI is created by, artificial intelligence is created by natural intelligence. That is we all, humans, Homo sapiens sapiens. The only thing is that what we need to, adding to what Jay sir said, we need to use AI. AI should not use us. The learning should be limited in using the AI, what he told technically, whatever it is required, needed for R&D and understanding regarding the application of biotechnology in that in a sustainable way. AI seems as creative, but it is not creative at all. AI works on already created data. Human mind is creative. सर्जनात्मक की ये बात करिए, एक खाली human सर्च कर सके, AI नहीं कर सके. So finally, as Joshi sir also told, that we need to decide. There will be lot many options, but finally the choice, the conclusion, the interpretation is to be done by us. And that is the role of teacher and academia, teachers in capacity building to make students aware regarding this thing. They need to think very critically. They need to opt as per NEP 2020 various courses where it is feasible and move ahead in the scientific area.
Very nice. Anand Bhai, do you want to add on this, because you started this and we started talking about it, AI and biotechnology. Do you want to have some additional thought on this?
Let me add a couple of things. And let you also basic that, okay, before we get into should you study AI, okay, actually I cannot mention study per se. There is something that I want to reach out. That is, we need to understand what is automation. Okay. अभी एक व्यक्ति, okay, सहयोग करतो है, वस्तु सहयोग करवानी होय, okay, तो थोड़ा एक 25-30-50 सिग्नेचर्स પછી છે ને એની સિગ્નેચરમાં ફેરબદલ આવવા પડે. સિગ્નેચરમાં હવે बैंक एक्सेप्ट करती हो तो बहुत फर्क पड़ता नहीं, बट एसओपीस में अगर आपको एक ही एसओपी सुबह से लेकर शाम तक वही काम रिपीटेडली करना है, ओके, तो बिकॉज इंसान में एक मतलब बोर हो जाते हैं, ओके, और एक फटीग आ जाता है. अब इसी को डाइवर्ट करने के लिए, इसी को अवॉइड करने के लिए यू हैव मशीन्स ट्रैफिक पुलिस वालों के पास उसको धंधा मिल सकता है कि तुम्हारी गाड़ी देखो 60 किलोमीटर पर आवर से ज्यादा स्पीड, 80 किलोमीटर पर आवर की ज्यादा स्पीड से जा रही है तो तुम्हारा फाइन होगा। Your CCTV footages can capture which car is coming at what speed exactly. It can also capture which driver within that car is not wearing a seatbelt. But now what he did was he adapted this in biotech industry. Okay. Before that he adapted this in construction industry, जहाँ पर ये skyscrapers बनते हैं और इसमें जो मजदूर लोग ऊपर चढ़ते हैं और वो मतलब सपोर्ट जैकेट तो पहनते हैं, लेकिन सी फॉर एग्जाम्पल सिंपल सा कहेंगे वो हुक जो है फंसाते नहीं है सेफ्टी को। ओके, अब इंसान गिरेगा तो फाइनली मतलब जो ऑन्टरप्रेन्योर है उसको तो नुकसान है। ओके, जान भी जा रही है और कंपनसेशन भी देना है। सो दिस काइंड ऑफ सीसीटीवी फुटेजेस वो सुपरवाइजर नीचे ऑफिस में इसी ऑफिस में बैठा हुआ है उसको वहां पे वो क्लिक करता है कि अब गाड़ा पलटना में जो है वो सेफ्टी बेल्ट नहीं लगा है। ओके, तो इधर से वो उसको रिंग मारता है उसके सब सुपरवाइजर को कि देखो क्यों उसने नहीं पहना। नाउ this thing is being adapted into biotech industry. For example, in pharma industry, for all the clean, counting, आपने hair cover किया है कि नहीं वगैरह। But this is the algorithm has been created by someone, right? That's what Gaurav was saying. But then it is important that you make the system so that it learns by itself. Okay, if you can develop the learning algorithm, that is good. This is where protein predictions, this is where protein structure predictions, this is where docking and lots of other things are used. Okay, so students इधर बैठे हुए सोचने लगे सर क्या ये बायोकेमिस्ट्री का टेक्नोलॉजी खत्म नहीं होता, वहां पर भी पढ़ने का। ओके, सो it is important that you need to know what is the philosophy and how does it happen. Okay, so that when you need to do it, you will not fall behind and you will be able to address the problem pretty well. Similarly, there are people who have combined this learning capability with psychometry and have done, for example, there is a Stanford startup which asks you a number of questions one after the other. The camera captures your facial expressions and is able to predict whether you are straight or a gay person. This in India may not be of immediate relevance or whatever, but in West, where they don't want any confusions from very early age, they would want to. So this is doing wonders. If this can be used to ask similar questions to students and if you are able to find out whether the candidate is right towards industry or academia or research or entrepreneurship, I think what a beautiful tool can it be for the state. Right? So it is about the application of how you do it, and hence it is important. I want to try and give you hope rather than कि आपको ये भी पढ़ना पड़ेगा. I want to try and tell you that it is about how you use it, and some of you will find yourself using this in a short. Thank you so much.
Very nice, thank you, Dr. Anand. Now we move to the last part of our discussions, and we'll ask all the panelists to give their views on the subject in like a sentence or two. Okay, what are sustainable biological practices? So we start with Alok Vaidya, Dr. Joshi, then Alok Vaidya, Bergi, and Rakesh.
See, when we talk about sustainable, it's the word which makes us. Then how can we make the sustainable biologicals? First of all, when we talk about biotechnology, when we work on any product, if you make this product sustainable for a long time, because that is the purpose of education in biotechnology, we need to check what is the commercial value of that research project. Any project, when you take up in your postgraduate or in PhDs or anywhere, for this country, if the project is going to be completed and put it on to a thesis, and that thesis will be going to the library, which does not have any value in development of this country, then this education is not going to be sustainable for long. The basic idea of this biotechnology is to develop the product which is not existing in nature and to modify the product. Like we were talking with Dr. These countries, the Sainik needs some food product when they are working in Kargil, where the temperature is -20. They can't go to for their lunch, for their breakfast, and for their dinner to some kitchen because they are going in -20 temperature. The biotechnology required to develop some food in such a way that by taking 2-3 tablets, that good enough for maintaining their health for more than 20 days or 30 days. This is already done when the people travel in space. They carry such kind of capsules, and that will be their food. That has to be further commercialized in so many other segments which can be useful for the biotechnology. If you take the example, we were talking about the drug, as we are one of the number one in the worldwide, we are called as a pharmacy of the world. That is the pharmaceutical we are developing. Then production of the bulk drug. The yield of what biotechnology can do is that in normal cases, like in the fermentation, when you manufacture the penicillin, the normal yield is X. But if you modify genetically to that fungus to produce the penicillin multifold, that will be reduce the cost of production, and we are the cheapest in the world market to export from these countries. So the fundamental is any project we take up in the research, remember that that project should have the basic fundamental is to modify and to make the product much more commercialized, either to make it better quality or to make it more cheaper worldwide, so that can be acquired a bigger market stake and generate the revenue for this country. Thank you.
Alok Vaidya, in short, what is sustainable biological practices?
Thank you, sir. Recently, the trend is, for any sustainable product development, not just biotech industry, but all the industries are going to open up the biology section in that industry, because that is the way to attain sustainable product development. Even Apple Inc. have started a biotechnology department in their firm. It is not yet published anywhere else, but I know it because one of my cousins is working over there as a biotechnologist. Right, and the trend is, everybody is trying to achieve carbon neutral status right now. So for that also, biotech research will play a big role in that. And the journey, as sir said, from lab to industry, right? It should be in such manner. The start point, in the initial stages, we have to be in such a mindset that our research should be sustainable.
That's perfect. So that's again, much shorter answer I needed from you, Jain. Sustainable biological practices.
Right. So, sustainable biological practices is looking into the nature for a process or reaction happening in energy intensive or using harmful chemicals in industry. With one example, if sir permits. Say, a paper and pulp industry is doing bleaching at high temperature using chemicals. And if you can achieve same thing at 37 degrees centigrade using enzymes, it's a sustainable biological process. looking into the nature for the energy intensive or harmful chemical using industrial processes.
Okay, yes, thank you. Gaurav, much shorter.
Every time difficult task comes to me at the end. Whatever you develop, try to understand how much harm it is going to do to ecosystem, and then again rethink if it is less harmful, it is something.
Very good. Thank you very much. I think before we give a final word to Anand, but we have many young minds here, the future scientists, future technologists, future businessmen. Let's get to know from them. Let's see that what they have in mind. So we take some quick questions from all of you who are sitting on the back side. चलो बता मैंने प्रश्न हुआ बताना. So let's have it. Let's have some discussion. You may have any kind of question. All of them. Yes, young lady, come on.
Sir, are there any specific policy or schemes which support student initiatives or conservation or sustainable development?
Okay, so like she's talking about having a sustainable policy. We take like a couple of more and then we'll ask any other question. Yes.
India is one of the biggest pharmaceutical industries and all that. So can sustainability and profitability go hand in hand when we are talking about drug development?
Okay. He's talking about sustainability and profitability going hand in hand. Any other questions from this side? Yes, you. One of you. How? Yes. Yeah. What are the recent technological updations? Okay, so that's another question. And yes.
Actually, my question is like, हम लोग बहुत टाइम से यही बात कर रहे हैं, इंडस्ट्री एंड एकेडमिक्स. साथ में क्यों नहीं हो रहा? जैसे आप बता रहे हैं कि बेसिक रिसर्च में टाइम नहीं मिल रहा. ऑलरेडी दे आर स्पेंडिंग देयर लॉट ऑफ टाइम इन बेसिक रिसर्च. लेकिन ये तो लेकिन से के साथ क्यों नहीं हो रहा? It's the same old questions. I think in 15 years I'm saying the same. Academics को industry को साथ में होना चाहिए. But they are not.
So he's saying, he's put a beautiful statement. Since like age old, there are significant discussions. Industry and institutions are not working together. Why and how they should work. So I think 4 questions, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. So let's get to hear from them. And very quickly, you can talk about policies available for youngsters. Any government policies available for young startups?
Yes. I don't think a single policy will suffice for this huge world of sustainability. Sustainability of fuel, sustainability in household plastics that we use, sustainability, in recycling batteries, sustainability in recycling metals. Where all do we not need sustainability? Sustainability in agriculture for using organic or natural farming methods instead of chemical. So this is enormous matter. So what is a policy? Policy is a collective decision by the people, for the people, as we all know, government is by the people, for the people, of the people. Okay. So a policy decision by the government is to consciously decide that we should do this. Okay. That is one thing. Second is an incentive policy, which means अगर तुम ये करोगे तो तुमको इंसेंटिव मिलेगा, कहीं से तुमको 2 पैसे ज्यादा मिलेगा. ओके. या तुम्हारा जो खर्चा है वो थोड़ा सा कम होगा. चलो इंसेंटिव पॉलिसी भी सरकार बना ले. लेकिन what is needed is mindset. Okay. But before I really do that, I need to congratulate Surat for coming up some rebates in GST or whatever. So incentive. But the third important part is inculcating the mindset. These three together can bring that change. Where is that change to come up? It is into us, we the people. So if all of us together we decide that yes, this is something that we want to do, without which our children will not be able to survive. I think that is the way out. So that's my answer of the policies.
Okay, thank you. Alok Vaidya has made a lot of money in running his company, Saffron Life-sciences. So let's ask him whether sustainability and profitability can go hand in hand.
Definitely, sir, they have to go two things, sustainability and profit. So naturally, that is the fundamental from the industry to be sustained with a high profit. Now, what this biotechnology play in this role, particularly in the segment of the technical sector? How the industry's sustainability increase by making the more profit, and more profit is only possible by developing a technology. Either you produce a much better quality than the quality available. Another is you produce the product at much lower cost by developing such technology. Then surely both will go together, and that is the job of scientists to make the product best quality at much lower cost. I give you an example of penicillin. In normal cases, the bulk drug produced at X amount, but our scientists have modified by mutation the gene which is responsible for production of penicillin is mutant, and the capacity has been multifold to produce the penicillin. That will reduce the cost of the production so much, we become a more profitable. That is the normal course happen in the industries.
Very nicely put up. We all know that our scientists, they work at a much faster rate than our policymakers. But here, there are two questions which have to be answered: the updations, the changes, what practices were earlier and what practices are now. Besides that, why institutions are not going to industry, or industries are not going to institutions. So let's ask these two gentlemen why they did not go to industry, or are they going to the industries, or are they involving industry in their curriculum? So let's hear from this veterans in the field of academics.
So the gentleman who asked this question that industry academia interaction is not working. So clearly there are examples where it is not working. To me, there are two ways industry academia, how it works and how it doesn't work. If you go by traditional methods, it is not working. Now what are traditional methods? I will speak out. Recruiting or nominating an industry individual on the board of studies, okay, so as he can give the input in curriculum. It's a traditional method, and I have seen it not working. We have tried it. We all have tried it. So yes, we have tried it. We have tried having industry nominees in our board of studies. I'm not saying they are not contributing, but it doesn't really give the fruitful results. But then there are methods which give fruitful results. So let's focus on the more positive things. One method is from industry side, one is from university side, and one is mutual. From industry side, there are industries who have themselves started having colleges, universities, and training centers. There are multiple examples in Gujarat also. So if you see UPL University for the Sustainable Energy, it is from the industry, UPL. Because it is from the industry side, they will definitely have a good collaboration of university and industry. So industry directly getting involved into the education aid. From the institute side, if institutes are starting a startup incubation center, okay, or some industry. So if a university is having good startup culture, startups coming out of from their university will have good connections, formal connections. And the mutual method is having center of excellences. There are industry sponsored, industry financed center of excellences in universities which are having good collaborative work. So it will not work, industry academia interaction will not work if you try to do it in traditional way. You need to go after the newer methods.
I completely endorse. We have tried so many times so that industrial person or the person from the industry give inputs, but he rightly said that and we have failed many times. I accept that, but it is a process of evolution, and we have started. We have started thinking in a more effective way. Even national education policy 2020 making sure that you should have some MOUs with the industry and skill development should be given the first priority. So we are working, but as you all know, that to evolve a vertical system it takes time. But platform has been created, and I hope in near future you will say with confidence that okay, fine, there is a good bonding, covalent bonding between industry and academia.
Very nice, thank you very much. And now we are running out of time. But if any of the students, anyone who is present here, who has a burning question, somebody coming from the deep heart, is there any questions that anyone wants to ask? That yes, this is a question to be asked. So do we have students, anyone with a burning desire to know, or any questions? We are going to take प्रश्नों, faculties, if you have any questions. Yes, person sitting in front, or anyone.
What sort of facility capacity building will provide to provide capacity building?
What facilities can industry provide?
Capacity building, we are talking about the development of capacity building.
Right.
So what sort of facility they will provide?
Okay.
See, when we talk about the capacity building, the government has so many schemes. For example, any biotechnology student has a brilliant idea, and he feels that this idea can develop a fantastic product, but I need to do some experiment to prove it. Or IIT, like IIT Mumbai, Gandhinagar, they are providing the whole infrastructure with the professor to run the different experimental at very nominal cost. This kind of, so throughout the country, the government has an incubation center where the student can go and apply his mind to create something new. That is possible. Even the better procedures make the government support a lot of expenditures. So there are a lot of schemes going on from the government side to create the capacity building. Like I'm talking about the individual student capacity building. That out of 10 or out of 100, 2 brilliant students have such a brilliant idea where they can do something new, but they require some infrastructure. Even they can go to that kind of institute rather than the industries. Because when you do something research, it is very important that you keep that information confidential before it translates into a product. So you must go for such kind of infrastructure to develop the new products.
So Anand,
Please.
Anand sir raised the
Incubation center. Yeah, Anand.
Yes, yes. I understand the question was what facilities are available if someone wants to try or something, right? In which case, and for industry academia interaction, so you could be a researcher in a university or you could be a student having a particular idea. So there are a lot of SRKI facilities and SRKI schemes that help you in this process. Apart from financial support, you also have many laboratories where you can come and try out your ideas free of cost. Okay. Our ambassador in the South Gujarat region, Dr. Joshi is sitting there. So the coordinator of our capacity building says, those of you who have questions can reach out to him, and they are completely guided. We have a fantastic laboratory, crores of rupees of instruments, at least 15 to 16 crores of
this is the time to end here, or are there any questions? We can still take it, or subsequently, we have everyone here, and through Dr. Gaurav, we can communicate with these individuals. So I request all of this panel of wise people with